Oh no.
We've got another one. So we're gonna be getting this one torn down, the competition bike. We gotta get this thing all snazzy and looking good for the slow rollers gang.
Bejeweled.
Yeah, we're gonna bedazzle it. This is my Rokon for the slow rollers gang. The other Rokon that we showed you guys in the last couple videos, that one's gonna end up being most likely a giveaway once we hit 300,000 subscribers. So you're gonna wanna check into that. I don't think we're gonna do any strings attached. I think we're just gonna be giving it away once we hit 300,000. So if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Once we hit the 300,000, we'll announce what we're gonna do, but it'll most likely just be a giveaway. Not really sure the details. I just got a phone call. I gotta take off for a little bit. So Hillbilly's gonna start taking this apart. And as soon as I get back, I'll jump in and help him. Take it away, Hillbilly. Okay, I'll be back.
First things first, we're taking the seat off while Robby goes and plays. Definitely would need a new one of those. As you can see, they took the original seat frame, welded tabs, and then bolted this new seat off of an old Suzuki onto it. That ain't gonna work. I have butterfingers today.
Dropping everything.
Everything but the mic. Holy cow. Million and a half miles long. So the hose clamp was the back of the gas tank mount. It just hugs it tight against the bar. The front actually has two bolts that I'm going to pull right now, which are 7/16. Now I just gotta undo the fuel line and it's ready to come off. So let's shut the fuel off. Still a bit of fuel in there from our challenges. Okay, now I'm going to work on getting these chains undone. Since we only have to undo one off the tires because he broke it on our challenge. Put the match link back on there so we don't lose no pieces. Although it's probably getting new, but just to be safe, if we can't find new, we still have that one. Roll it up so it stays nice and neat. Set these in the pile. Now I'm gonna work on the front differential. So I don't know if you'll be able to get that one too well. And then we gotta do the brakes. Oh, there's one of the brake pads. Wow. About due for some new brakes. Like hardly anything left on those. Now let's see if we can get this to come loose. We're gonna pop the spring out of the holder. Don't have to label this baggie because there's only one set of brakes on this, and that's the front. So now this should just, oops, slide out. That double joint boot is better than the other one, but it still is wore out and cracked. We probably should get a new one. Now I'm working on the back chain, or the middle chain that goes from the drive to the transfer cases. Make sure I put this one back together so we don't lose the master link. Sometimes these can be a little tough. There we go. There's another chain. This one's all oily. Should we get the camera guy's nice new gray shirt? Whack!
No thanks.
Okay, so now I want to work on the cage for the drive belt to get that off and out of the way. And we'll keep going from there. You don't like my wind chimes?
They sound exactly like wind chimes.
The hillbilly wind chime. Uh-oh. See if we can get this belt off. It's kind of tight. Probably gonna have to pull the belt off by pulling the pulley. Watch yourself. I'm gonna do the old wrench trick to get these off. And that belt is actually not in too bad a shape. with the Napa number on there so we know exactly what belt to get if we need to replace it. And do the shifter linkage. And then do the shifter. Robbie better hurry if he wants to help be a part of tearing us down.
Well, you might have it all done, or all done by the time he gets back.
That's what I'm saying. There's the shifter. It's a little on the sad side. I think we should sandblast it and Cerakote it. All the chrome's gone, except in a little bit of patches of chrome left, but that's about it. So now, the rear differential. There's the rear differential. Oh no, we're gonna have to get a new spring. It's broke and someone's welded it. So we might want to look into getting a new one. If any of you guys know, as soon as you heat up a spring, it loses its springiness, so it won't work like it's properly supposed to. So now let's work on the rear differential. Wrong size. Right size. I'm gonna have to drop the exhaust to get that other one. There's no way to get to it with the exhaust on. One bolt removed, got one more. And then the tailpipe is undone, and I just have to go and do it off the motor and fish it out. That locking washer was no good. It just broke into 3 pieces. Might have to grab Robbie's fancy wrenches to get to that one. So I'll grab those and we'll be back at it. What the heck? Oh my gosh. Sometimes the way engineers think doesn't boggles my mind. There we go.
So you'd have this done by now, man. You've done enough of them already.
Did you ever hear the story of the turtle and the hare?
Tortoise and the hare.
You ever heard that story? Slow and steady wins the race.
I didn't know it was a race.
And there's the tailpipe, part of the exhaust, and the manifold. And there's the manifold. Pulling the kickstand off now. Maybe if I grabbed the right size socket, it would. You should know what size it is, Brandon. You've pulled how many of these apart?
Yeah, I just watch it.
That one doesn't even pull it off. I mean, it's metric. So I have to get me a 12mm wrench. Rear gearbox or transmission. I won't say transmission. Okay, now let's see if it comes out like it's supposed to. Then I'll put that kickstart back on so we don't lose no pieces. I guess I didn't have that bolt tight enough. So now I'm going to loosen all the wheels. Jeez Louise. That ain't just going to pop off like I want it to. Kicking my butt. Bada bing, bada boom. Now to pull this Carter key out, maybe. There. Holy cow. For how oily it is, sure it was a pain to get out. Now, the motor. Motor mounts. Moment of truth. Didn't fight it nowhere near as much as I do when Robby's here to help me. Robby gone, we're not fighting each other on trying to get it out. It's just one guy moving it out. The way the motor mounts on the back is actually through the crankcase plate. And so we want to just put the bolts back in it so the crankcase ain't falling off. It's almost all the way apart, just a few more things and it's done. We're gonna do the handlebars now. Get this mud flap that popped out of the way. Definitely have to find someone that can make one or someone that has one so we can get Ed. So Ed's bike can have one because he really wants one. That one's in a lot better shape than the most recent one we tore apart. Oh, I forgot how tight these were. I see a set screw on the bottom, but I don't see one on the top. Oh, yep, right there. Found it. Well, look who decided to show back up to help finish it.
I was meeting fans. I didn't want to tell you, but that's where I was. Nice. Look at how greasy. Holy cow. All right, so Hillbilly's gotten quite far on this. I'm pretty impressed. But I'm here to do the heavy lifting, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this taken care of for him. Right, Hillbilly? Hey, look at that. That is a sweet seat.
One of a kind.
Is this like considered a Springer? This is custom.
Might have to put it back on. It's been on there so long that it became one. Oh, hey, Robbie, look what I just noticed. I thought we was gonna have to weld some pipe on there for the steps, but it already has it with just like a square plug in it.
It's plugged.
Just so that way it doesn't get full of rust.
Our goal is to get a sidecar on this puppy.
And fit 13 people.
Yeah, game on. We'll have them like stacked on like those little clown cars. That's right. Why are we trying to break our own world record?
Because when Ed breaks it, it's just coming. It's a matter of time. You know it.
That's true.
We have to plan ahead, get a game plan.
Here, we like to plan ahead.
Sometimes.
Sometimes, not always. We don't always plan ahead.
And it doesn't always work when we do plan ahead.
But sometimes we do. You don't always have to plan ahead, but it helps. It does help.
Not for us. Sometimes it don't even work out as we planned.
We work way better under pressure. For those of you that are new to the channel, we're rebuilding a truck. It's a 1997 Chevy, short bed, single cab. We're rebuilding it for a 16-year-old kid that lost his father. 100% of the proceeds from our merchandise sales until the truck is done goes towards the truck.
We're gonna have to build a little box and weld on the front of this like Ed's. A little storage compartment. Hot?
Yeah, very hot.
Might cool down for a minute.
All right, well, this fender that once was a fender is taken off. Look at how rusted that is. All right, let's get the chair up here like we did before. Good thing Free's so awesome. It's going under my fingernail and it doesn't burn. Not at all.
Crank start it. It's all lubricated now. A lot of rust.
Now that we have those, we're gonna get the stand up here and we're gonna actually take this wheel off. Hey, we could take these tires and put them on the other one.
They're pretty bad.
Yeah, that's true, they're bad.
Oh.
Ruined. We'll have to get a bolt. There's gotta be set screws.
There is, but they won't come free.
All right. Ugh. Oh, that sucks. That's kind of how it goes sometimes. You have major issues when you don't plan on it. We'll tap the heads so that these are good again, and then...
Vibrate the drive shaft.
Did it? Oh, nice. Well, at least the drive shaft's good.
Speaking of which, we may need to find a new spring. It's broke before and someone's welded it.
Oh, dude, look at that. It's finding major issues all over this bike. The only thing worse would be a cracked frame.
There is a crack in the frame.
Where?
On the handlebars. Someone tried to patch it.
We're gonna have to drill that out, grind it out, weld that. So we'll get it all sandblasted and then we'll take care of this crack in the frame. What about the rest of it?
I don't know, it's too much oil and grease to tell.
So we'll need to get it all pressure washed. And
but maybe the oil and grease has kept the frame good.
Yeah.
So luckily the snaps that holds the front mud flap onto the frame are screwed on and not riveted, so we can take those off.
We found somebody, one of you awesome viewers reached out to us, you're a leather worker. It's gonna make this new mud flap. So we're gonna put it in the mail and ship it off to him. We're gonna get one made for Ed also. So it's gonna be sweet.
Might as well get them all made.
Yeah, we'll get 4 of them made. We'll get 4 of them made.
Ta-da!
Last but not least, all we have left now, we'll break down the tires, pull the sprockets off, and then we're gonna hurry and pull those bolts out. And this frame will be ready to be sandblasted. My heck, it's got a crack in the frame here.
Oh, and it came undone right there. Someone's rewelded it.
So it's been cracked here, it's been welded here. I'll bet you, oh, it's been cracked here. I'll bet you we're gonna find other major cracks in this frame after it's sandblasted. So, oh well, that's how it goes when you're restoring stuff.
Sit my booty down. Those were tight.
All right, we'll let that air come out and we'll dismount the tires.
I I found a bent strap. One of the straps that holds the mud or the rear fender on is bent. Got to pull the chain adjusters out. Now the front ones. That was tight. Now this frame is officially stripped. These are gonna be a little bit of a pain to get out. Gotta clean all this dirt out so the socket can actually go on it. So full of gunk and crud, the socket won't go on there all the way. Now let's try that. It helped. Fancy, fancy.
It's not like 100-year-old dust. Always want to lubricate your bead so that things don't bind up as hard. Right off. Where this has got a tube inside of it, yank it. Ah, just kidding. A little harder to get out than I thought. Just like that.
Gonna have to take a wire wheel to the inside of that. It's pretty corroded.
You're definitely gonna need to polish it after.
We just gotta clean it up. Hey Robby, instead of a giveaway, here's our tire for our sidecar we can build.
Why didn't I think of that?
And then we just turn that into a trike.
That's what we should do.
Unicycle with the motor.
Yeah, let's just combine two into one. We can put double motors, everything.
Get the thing together to go faster.
I'm gonna try another trick. I'll take the tube with it. See if I can get it all off at once. I don't know if it'll work, but we'll try it. There goes nothing. Oh, look at that. Get it.
Hey, there's just some spare derby car tubes.
I think these got put on backwards because your nuts were on here and they were recessed.
I don't think they were on backwards.
Well, I wonder
had
if they
a
have,
washer behind each one for a spacer to space it out further.
but I'll bet that they need a washer out here then. Anyway, cool. So these are still sprockets. So we'll have to sandblast those. Figure something out to do, probably Cerakote. All right, so we've got this completely torn apart. Now it's time to go through it and see what we need to do to it. We gotta get new head bolts for the porch to swivel on. We gotta fix the cracked frame. That thing's cracked all the way around. Gonna need 2 new tires, new levers, new throttle, new grips, a new drive shaft spring, new kickstand and spring, a new petcock. That tank actually looks pretty dang good. That is not bad at all. We'll clean that sucker up and get it painted up nice. We're gonna get these remade, these mud flaps. We've gotta ship this off. Kickstand, shifter's gonna have to get sandblasted. We'll probably have to do that ourselves so we can keep the knob on it. Oh, gonna have to weld this just like we welded Ed's. New drive belt, up to Cerakote the exhaust. That's like a little manifold. That's cute as can be.
It's the same way.
Okay, we needed an exhaust gasket. We'll clean up the exhaust. Ooh, that one's not in bad shape, but we'll probably
but it's wore out.
We'll want to get another W joint. Well, that sprocket's pretty worn out. We better look into a front sprocket. Yeah, we'll definitely want to look into that sprocket. That thing's about as worn out as it gets. Other than that, drive gear feels pretty good. New brakes, of course. Oh, that back sprocket is horrible. Look at that. So all new front and rear sprockets.
Is it starting to shark tooth?
Yeah, bad. New chains. We gotta somehow fix this Kickstarter.
We gotta tear it apart and see what's wrong with it. That
Yep.
boy looks like it was bent in one spot.
Pulley's gonna need fixed. Sprocket looks about shark tooth. Gonna need a new seat. Looks like it's got the old seat frame sort of underneath, but we'll have to source us a new one. This has got some other retrofitted seat on it also that we don't necessarily want. We're gonna need a new rear fender, freshen up on the engine, and new tires.
This list ain't nowhere near as long as the other bikes was. It's just a page and a half. The other one's almost 2 full pages.
So looks like we need quite a few things, but this bike's gonna come together awesome. And this one is gonna be mine for the slow roller gang. So as always, we appreciate you. Thanks for watching.